My name is Pamela Santos and I'm 20 years old. I moved from Manila, Philippines when I was 3.
I'm Renee Zapata. I'm 21 years old and I moved here in 2009 when I was 12 years old.
I'm Nicole Tan. I'm 21 years old and I moved to California from Manila, Philippines in 2006 when I was 10 years old.
My family decided to move to America because my parents thought it'd be better for my sister and I to have an education in the United States because there's a lot more opportunity with jobs and even higher education like grad school and things like that. They also wanted to create a better life for us because it was getting hard in the Philippines to keep up with all of our cousins and like provide support for everybody. So moving to America to give them support back to the Philippines was the best choice for us.
I moved to California from the Philippines because of my mom mainly. My mom had been living here and working here for a few years and she wanted to petition me to come live with her and get my education here.
Me and my brother were born in the Philippines. My mom was actually a US citizen for a while beforehand, which made me and my brother US citizens automatically. And I guess when my mom and my dad made the decision to move us to America, majority of my mom's side of the family was already living here, and like them, they just believed that me and my brother would have better education and job opportunities if we grew up here.
Expect it to be so easy to mold into American culture, but I realized that I was about 3 years old when I went, so there was a lot of time for me to adapt to whatever all my peers were doing in school and things like that. But one thing that was surprising for me was the experience wasn't the same for my sister. She'd be coming home crying or saying that people are mean to her, like she can't talk or anything, and like I guess what I didn't expect was like the big difference between like the age gap when you come here. And I also didn't realize that a lot of American culture revolved around like how your parents took care of you, and comparing it to my friends that I had, it was really shocking that it was so different because my parents were more strict. I could never go to the mall for fun when I was younger because my parents thought it was so dangerous, but then I would be really confused and be so upset because all my other friends could do the same thing.
Something that I've learned is that it's really important for me to form and maintain friendships and relationships with people that know what I went through as an immigrant. Moving from Philippines to America can be a really difficult process, and so it was really important for me to have people that know what that's like. It just generally I lead such a better life because of those relationships.
I didn't realize was how much I would notice my difference from other people here. Not differences because of how I was as an individual, but differences created by the fact that I came from another country. The Philippines is very homogenous and a lot of people shared similar beliefs and gestures and mannerisms. So it was weird when I came here and started seeing that not everyone was the same as me anymore. And they weren't necessarily differences that made me feel ashamed of myself, but I did feel different. Like I did feel like an outcast sometimes, and it made me miss home a lot growing up.
I'm actually a lot jealous of my sister now that she can speak Tagalog fluently, but she also just remembers a lot about the Philippines, which I don't. So I really wish I could go back and like experience those things again. I'm very happy that my parents were really careful with me because it shows that love can be shown in different ways, and like the way they showed love to me was that they wanted to protect me and like make me feel safe in America because it was such a different area than the Philippines, that they wanted to make sure that I knew what I was doing or they knew where I was so that I would be okay.
Now I feel really proud of myself for learning that lesson and actually following up on it, and it's something that I think I would want to continue on for the rest of my life. It's also a part of my process of reclaiming the Filipino identity and not forgetting or erasing it anymore, but actively embracing and celebrating that part of my identity.
So I joined a Filipino club on campus called KP, Kapatirang Filipino. And I guess I realized after being around people similar to me and people who had the same struggles as me that no matter how far I am from home, which to me is the Philippines still, I can still appreciate and stay close to my roots.
I'm Layla Sketty. I'm 20 years old. I moved here from Manila when I was 12. This whole time, I thought the reason why I moved from the Philippines to the US is because my mom got remarried, which she did. But when I asked her recently about it, it was actually because she felt that our life in the Philippines was over, to the point that she needed to relocate us to a different country, specifically the US, for us to have a better future. And not even just that, but just to continue our life. One of the biggest things that I experienced while moving that no one warned me or told me about was having to deal with certain mental health problems because of not even the trauma, but just the process of moving to a different country. And also that it'll always, because I moved, I always have a sense of displacement. Wherever I go, I feel that the mental health of many immigrants continue to be overlooked, which is partly why I wanted to make this video about that, because there's a lot of things that happens during the process of immigration that no one talks about. It took me a very long time to feel as if I'm in the right place, and also no one really talks about how you always compare what your life could have been if you never moved, because there's always that possibility, and they're very polar opposites, especially when you come from a country that's very different from where you moved to. Now I take a lot of pride in my identity, being an immigrant, and having that experience of living my childhood in the Philippines and having my life continue in a different country. The biggest part for me was accepting where my life went, because I had such a hard time accepting that change. At the same time, I also learned how to be kind to myself more, and also it humbled me in a lot of ways than I can imagine. And now I really take pride in that, because it's something that not a lot of people can say that they're proud of doing or proud of going through, because it is hard, and it's not something that everyone talks about.